A very good morning to all of you. Kindly accept my good wishes. Dear participants, myself Pankaj Jha welcomes you all in second day, third session of FDP on recent trends and innovation in electronics engineering. For today's session, we are having eminent speaker Dr. Vijendra. I would like to say something about Dr. Vijendra. Sir is the technology enabler in design and delivery solution at DXC Technology, California, USA. As a technology enabler, Dr. Vijendra contributes towards the WMB solutions using middleware technology under the umbrella of cloud application services. His out of box thinking to implement the solution has left the remarkable impact to the product users. His capability have served number of times to save huge amount of clients' money. His contributions were well appreciated by his presentation before the various customers. He has published several articles in international journals and presented his paper on several platforms to demonstrate his ideas. Customer seeks his help in order to implement the solution in most effective and simple way. He makes the complex middleware solution to look very smooth while implementing in production environment for users. In IT corporate world, Dr. Vijendra has been providing the unique solution for his clients in the various applications for many years. Currently, Currently, Dr. Vijendra plays a role of enterprise integration technology enabler for 7 different regions in North and South California, USA. Sir has 14 years of experience in IT corporate world and has handled various projects in healthcare vertical. He started his professional career as a software developer in India and in short span of time he moved to the USA to handle critical healthcare project. He has bachelor, master's and doctorate degree in computer science. Welcome you, sir. Now I would like to our FDP convener, Professor Dr. Seema Nayak, to welcome sir.
Very good morning to all of you, and I hearty welcome today's our speaker, Dr. Vijendra Karpate. Also, welcome to all the participants for our FDP session 3. Today, his topic is cloud services and the IT organization. As we all know about the Internet of Things, machine learning, artificial intelligence, all these are the burning topics. And for this, all the technology, we require huge data and how to manipulate of that data. So we require the cloud data storage. So in the today's session, we will discuss or we clear our ideas or concept regarding cloud services, how IT organization work, and the cloud storage. And he is very much experienced in all such things. So I request Dr. Vijendra to share his knowledge with us. Welcome, sir.
First of all, thank you very much, Madam and Pankaj sir, for the nice introduction. That was very nice, crisp, and sweet introduction. Thank you so much. It was long, and thank you again for providing me this opportunity to speak in this forum. And yeah, let's. I would definitely talk about cloud and cloud services in IT industry. My expertise in cloud services in IT industry, and I am currently working as a integration manager here, and handling lots of applications, cloud related applications. So having said that, I would like to share my screen, and I have one presentation to share, and then we can go ahead and move ahead one by one. And we have few agendas. I will discuss everything. So if with your permission, if I can share my screen.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So there you go, and we have this share. So let me know if you can share my screen, if you can see my screen.
Yes, sir. It's visible. Visible.
Okay, great. So slides from beginning. There you go. So I would, concentrate on cloud services in IT industry. So this is the regular, presentation I used to speak about in different forums. I have tweaked it a little bit to present it to the, the new audience. Uh, because this cloud services, artifacts will be almost same, but things what I wanted to convey here, because I understood that my audience is going to be the college students, or anybody who wants to learn about the IT industry, what is happening inside. So my focus will be on that part more. So let me move ahead and go to the next slide. I request people to mute the mic. That is my humble request. So that is, here we are very few people. So that's good. So here is what my agenda. Few agenda I will talk about. The first, so lots of things we will talk about, and my main focus would be on the happenings in cloud. What is really happening inside IT industry when we are going to implement some services, in cloud services. So these are a few topics which I'm going to talk about today. Let's go next. Before I start anything about cloud services, I would like to speak a little about the current situation happening in the world. This guy who is appearing in our screen now has changed the world entirely, and everything has changed. Here we can see that lots of changes already happened in everybody's life, and lots of changes are going to happen because of this COVID-19. We are taking lots of positives and negatives out of this situation, but here we have to stay strong and fight against this, and come out of it. That is what we are trying our level best to come out of it. Here we see that because of COVID, the situation in the entire world is being handled in such a way that lots of changes are going to be implemented in everywhere. All the organizations, school, colleges, or government uh, organization, private organization, everywhere, our work practice has changed completely. I never, for last few months, 6 months, I did not go to office, but still we are able to deliver everything required. Only if you need to be physically there, you are going to office. If not, then you are working from home. So lots of things are changing, and it will change going forward. Work practice has changed. Our sports have greater impact because of this. uh, in United States, at least in my company, what I know is leadership has announced the work from home till end of this year. So lots of things we have to do sitting at home. We have to explore this world, sitting at home, half closed world, I would say. Sitting at home, we have to explore a lot of things. So here in this situation, we must use various platforms to connect to people around the world, and we have to see opportunities and move on. Having said that, I'm moving to the next slide. Okay, this is not my favorite one, but I would like to say something about myself, which people do not know, and Pankaj sir and Seema ma'am have already told lots of things about me. But here, some more thing I wanted to add. Here, my current role and about me. See, I am the enterprise integration manager in cloud services. I'm working for my clients, for my company. And parallelly, I have completed the doctorate and that is also in cloud application. And my all research papers, which I published in international journals, are related to cloud services, different topics. So, and I still continue doing some research and looking forward to publish more papers in international journals. In my spare time, what I do is I play cricket, I play on drums and mouth organ. That is what sometimes when I need to relax, I do that. Let us move to the next one. Now, coming to the real business here, as I would more focus on the services, cloud services in IT industry. Uh, my presentation is not going to be too technical because I want to focus on the subjects where people have to learn what is happening inside the IT industry. I'm not going to, speak more about the technological aspects of, cloud services, but definitely some technical terms will appear now and then because we are in the technical era. We are talking everything about cloud services and all. So definitely it will come. So let us, think about some services. What are the services we have to opt when we think about the cloud service? So basically, main purpose of having this cloud services to enable with lots of advantages organization can have. One organization will be well versed when it goes to moves to cloud. It has lot services operating under cloud. So first one, what we see is software as a service. What is software as a service? Delivery methodology that provides licensed multi-tenant access to the software, and it's remotely as a web service, web-based services. So that is software as a service. I give you some examples. We will not go much in detail, what is it, what is the, how we can describe it, but let us understand with the example. The SaaS, software as a service, the biggest example is the Salesforce, Google, Facebook. They are providing the software as a service, SaaS. The next one, we have infrastructure as a service. This is again the multi-tenant virtualized environment. When we implement this service, that is under multi-tenant virtualized environment. And this can be coupled with managed services for OS and application support. So that is one thing I told about the infrastructure as a service. I will not go much deeper about these services. Rather, I will try to make you understand how it can be implemented in a real-time environment. Platform as a service. That is again, you think about Amazon, Azure, Rackspace. These are the companies which provides the PaaS, which is called platform as a service. And what are the advantages and disadvantages? We'll see later part of this presentation. And the last one is security as a service. There is one more, desktop as a service. I did not include in this slide intentionally because I in my presentation, I don't want to discuss more about desktop as a service. Rather, I introduce this security as a service because what I feel is security as a service is an emerging service in cloud era, which all the organizations, they are trying to adopt it. And this is basically few organizations, they are using it for email security basically. uh, when any organization decides that they have to implement any services related to cloud, then how they can ensure their security in terms of email. So lots of email exchanges between private and public cloud will happen. They have to interact with the other organization. They are specifically, the email security, we implement security as a service just to ensure that our emails are not, no malicious entry should be done on, that email what we exchange within cloud environment. So that is one thing. uh, Based on this, when we see closely something we can implement in our lifestyle. Whatever I see, I experience in the IT industry happening around, I see all these things are bookish knowledge. But when we see really happening into, the industry, and we are the one to implement it, then we can correlate, okay, what we studied and what we implemented. Everything is, we can correlate. So I would try to, share that experience, how we did what we did. So basically here, when let me share one small incident here. When I was doing my research on cloud, I was, trying to, get some knowledge on uh, security of email. Then I encountered few mechanism where, I did a deep dive, and then I found out, this is the security as a service is the fantastic topic where I can, publish my paper and, introduce something new to that. So my paper is already there in international journals that can be referenced for email security at any point of time. So so this security as a service is very emerging service in cloud environment. Lots and lots of organizations are going to adopt in near future. Let us move to the next, integration as a service. As I said before, that I'm going to focus more on the the real happening inside the IT industry. So I'm not going to talk more technical, because technical everything is written in books. So here I take this opportunity to share the real experiences, what I encounter on daily basis in the industry. So here, let me, since I I work in healthcare vertical, and I have around 15 years of experience in healthcare vertical. So my examples will be related to, the healthcare and related stuffs. So there, now let me tell you something about integration as a service. Integration as a service we implement when any organization tries to implement any service, cloud-based service, they try to implement, then there is a need of integration. So when new service is coming into the picture, they have to be integrated with other services to provide the best possible solutions and best possible, what we call as services to the customer. So and main goal is to provide the best service to your customer. That is what, every organization is trying to implement some new technology and, please their customers. So that is one thing. Let me say for, why integration is needed. The first, we will try to understand that what are the benefits when when we apply this integration as a service in the organization. So there are, we will talk about digital transformation also. When the integration happens, it automatically takes care of your care delivery, digital transformation, and lots of stuffs which even, you cannot imagine that will be rectified, and that will, that will be an asset for your organization. Let me take some example of hospital. Since I'm working for hospital here, hospital IT. So let me take an example here, like my hospital, hospital I work for is the Kaiser Permanente. It is the biggest hospital chain in USA, America. And there we implement different services and implementation, lots of applications we interact with, lots of vendor we interact with, you know so there we uh, have a need of integration. So what happens, say for, let us understand in this way, because I know that lots of people who are attending from India and several other places. Let me take this example because Apollo Hospital, they have this chain. They have lots of branches in India. Likewise, here in USA, I'm taking example of Kaiser Permanente. That hospital is having different, um, lots of places, at different locations, they have their hospitals. So what they do is, here in USA, we have norms that any private hospital or government hospital, they have to maintain some data which has to be shared with the government, US government. So any person, say for example, let me take the immunization. Any person who are taking the uh, immunization, that has to be recorded, and end of the day, that information to be shared with the government. That is for sure. So likewise, what in Apollo, they have to do the same. So in order to do that, this is what I just told about immunization system. Immunization record they have to maintain. Likewise, we have lots of information coming from different sources and coming to the hospital record, coming to, for and getting stored under patients record and getting added, like syndromic surveillance record, health data, inpatient, outpatient, lots of the payroll of health workers. Everything is getting and they have to circulate it. But at one point of time, everything is coming to one place. There, when you interact with different customer, different vendors, and different parties, and you try to accumulate the information at same place, your services has to be integrated in such a way that you can handle everything properly and no data mess should happen. So how we can achieve this? So there should be a strong mechanism of integration in your organization. So there we implement integration as a service under cloud. So, and let me explain something about how we implement. For example, we have 5 services in my organization, right? Just try to understand, this is very important to understand, because uh, we when you go for interview, when you go for attending some research seminars, when you try to write some papers, understanding this integration part is very important, because this will lead to the success of any cloud related application services. If you're not integrated with other services, your application will not work properly. That is 100% sure. So let us understand this. Say for your organization is having 5 services, services 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Now I am going to introduce 6 service here, and this service, new service, has to be integrated with all 5 services. Otherwise, within an organization, this 6th service, new service, will always be treated as a foreign element in your organization. You have to gel with others, right? In normal life also, if you see that you go to office, when you go to the new place, you have to gel with others to be a part of that organization, part of that society. The same way, when you implement, forget about cloud services for some time. Forget about cloud, take the word cloud out. So now services, we have 5 services here in my company. I want to add one more services here. I added, so we have to integrate it. How will we integrate? This foreign element is not having capability to integrate with my other applications. Just try to understand what we will do here. In this situation, a term customize that appears in designer's mind, in the owner's mind, the customize, let us customize this. Why we go for customization? Because everything suits to my need, I will go for customization. I bought a television, I treat 2 speakers, I customized it, as per my need. So same way, when we buy some services, let me take one example, then you will understand better. Example is, I want everyone to think that you are a captain of a cricket team. Now, see, let us try to correlate. You are the captain of a cricket team. Now, you are in need of a good bat in order to, bat, willfully. What would you do? We know that, there is a company called Spartan or, SS, they build a bat, very good bat. We will order. We ordered it. We got the bat. But when you got the bat, you found out, okay, this needs some more repairing. This needs some more, some more enhancement so that it suits my need, suits my batsman. So one batsman is telling it, I need one more grip on top of it. Other batsman is telling, I need more stroke at the down part. Other batsman is telling, I need some stroke on the upper part. So oiling is needed, lots of stuffs. Then you approach that company, hey, can you do all this? They said, no, we don't have any privilege to, enhance this. This is what my product looks like. That is what. So as a smart captain, what he's going to do is he's going to buy that bat for their players, and he is going to customize that bat. He will buy some grip from outside and put it on the, bat. He will do some oiling, he will do some knocking on the bat, and he will make it perfect for their batsman. That is one thing. Now they all are happy and everything is going good in their team. Now on the other part, let us move to the organization here. What happens in organization when you are trying to buy some service, new service for your organization? What you do, you check lots of stuffs. You check lots of stuffs and you buy it. When you buy it, as I told you earlier, this new service does not have capability to gel with other services. We cannot integrate, no way. Then the need of customization comes. We have to customize it for our need. So what I am going to do is, I am going to modify this service as per my need. We have lots of experts. They can decode the they can decode it very easily to modify this service. They will customize this. They will add new features to this service. Service is existing, they will add new features to this service, and then they will implement in the organization here. Now, as soon as this sixth new service is going to be added to the organization with all the required features, other applications are ready to gel with them. So once this integration happens, you can say that your organization moved under cloud. We have implemented cloud. So this is very important part of any of the cloud services, any organization opting for the cloud. This is very important to have integration as a service, which will help your customer to serve better. And as you see this in the bottom of this slide deck, I have written, get the base service, analyze the need, customize it, use it, serve better, and enhance it. So after customization, when we started using that service, it looked beautiful. It is suiting our need. Organization is happy, everything is going good. But in future, if you need to enhance it, you can go, enhance it. Again, if there is a new need for your organization, as per that need, you can enhance it. So this is what happening inside the industry. It is not that IT organizations, they are just going to buy the service and use it. No, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen that way. We have to understand this is what happening inside the industry. As a captain, you took the decision and you got the bat, customized it, and gave it to your players, right? Here, as a smart owner, the organization owner will buy the service, customize it, and give it to their employee to, use it for their organization, and see the product, how it works. So once integration, what I said, that this gel happens, all the services integration happens well, your cloud will work fine, and your organization will definitely excel in terms of the cost effectiveness, and the productivity, everything. And the digital transformation, what we call is digital transformation, will happen. You can see that the digital transformation happening there. So so this was integration. So now let us talk something about uh, deployment methods. So now we know what service we need to deploy, what service we need for our organization. We know how, what service, how will we deploy. So there, then again, in front of that organization owner, we have lots of options. Go for this public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, community cloud. These are the clouds. So in my deck, you're not going to see lots of wordings, only topics, so that I can explain it to you in my own way. I'm not going to write or type something which is written in book or somewhere in the internet. No. Here, one point what we have to keep in mind, that public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, and community cloud, these are the variations where organization can choose. Okay, or service provider will talk to the organization, get their need, and they can suggest, okay, you go ahead and get this service done, get this deployment, this kind of cloud service, this model, we can offer you this model based on your needs. For example, if you go to buy a car, you tell your needs, this is my budget, this features I need, this is what I need, and this is what my space I have to park my car somewhere. Based on that, you decide, right, which car you have to get, right? So, and what are the features you need in your car. So depending, and budget, everything you consider, and then you go and select a car and buy it. In the same way, the cloud service provider, they analyze your need, they talk to you, analyze your need, everything, they do some research, everything they will check, and then they will propose you, okay, this is what you can go with. So once, what happens, and in what scenario the service provider will offer you the public cloud deployments, and that model, or private cloud model, hybrid, or community model, in what they will. So let us understand this. Public cloud, if some say, for any organization which is providing some service which is web-based application, any web-based application, on demand application, this kind of services, definitely service provider will offer you the public cloud. Go with public cloud and implement in your organization. So I mean to say, any on-demand service and self-service basis over the internet via web applications, this kind of scenario, you can go for the public cloud. Your organization can go for the public cloud. So this is how, in one liner, I'm just letting you know that these are the basic criteria to implement that deployment models. Private cloud, you must satisfy this private cloud accessibility before you go for public cloud. So you can say the private cloud is the first step prior to opting the public cloud initiative, right? So see how related these are, private cloud and public cloud. I want public cloud to manage, so I need to satisfy all the needs for private cloud, definitely. Then only I can, that also, depends how service provider is providing you the service. Then we go for a hybrid. Hybrid, what is hybrid cloud? This kind of deployment, the need for on promise, that we call is the on-site on site. Sometimes, when you go ahead and read the book, they will call it on site and off site. The combination of these two, on site and off site, is what? Public cloud. Off site is public cloud, on site is your on site, your premises, your the private one. The public and private, when they implement something which is mixture of these, they call it the hybrid cloud. So a hybrid cloud, um, these hybrid cloud is for specific functions in any organization. This is not just I will go ahead and implement this. No, the main important point here to note is, when organization, see, any organization wants to implement hybrid cloud deployment models. Why? If you see, maintaining a server is very costly. So when we implement all these services in our organization, we need to think about the disaster recovery, something called disaster recovery, right? So such as virtual servers, we have virtual server disaster recovery. That is one point I am telling. Backups of data, and the test and development environments. We have to make these things available at every point of time in order to make this organization up and running. That is very important aspect. What happens is, we have one server in my organization, server A, where I'm holding the entire information, okay, for my customers, for everybody. The same replica I need to have somewhere, so that in if at this location, if some disaster happens, I can retrieve everything from here. So if any organization wants to implement all this, having more cost, they are having, budget is overflowing because of, they have to maintain two replica of servers. So then they will go for hybrid cloud deployment model, where they will have the virtual service for disaster recovery, virtual servers for disaster recovery. So these are the concepts. We just need to understand why we need. So basically, I think you know that why public, private, and hybrid cloud is, when it is used. Let us see the community cloud. When we can use this community cloud. The community cloud, when several organizations with similar requirements share common infrastructure. I'm just telling you, there is no word here, but what I'm telling, if we have 5 organizations, okay, they are sharing the common infrastructure. That time, service provider can go ahead and implement this model, community cloud. So this is cost effective, and everything, uh, inter organization shift happens. That is another topic we can discuss later part of it, not in this presentation, but that is another huge topic. So now we understood about the cloud deployment models. So let us see this, how it happens, what are the process, service deployment methodology goes on. So first, what happens is assessment and design, deployment and migration. So when I say deployment and migration, so there, that is the place where the company or service provider has to make sure that what kind of deployment, which I shared earlier, should happen. I hope it is clear. So then monitoring and tuning, lots of phases are there. Let me tell you something about this assessment and design. So what happens in assessment and design is, here at this phase, so you see, these are the phases where the service deployment methodology is decided and implemented in your organization. That is one thing. What happens in assessment and design phase? They're working, the designer, they are working with the business users to get the high level requirements. There they get the requirements, and all the pros and cons they used to understand of using these cloud solutions. What are the pros and cons? They are accessing every information to analyze, what are the, needs for the business users. Basically, they writing down the requirements here. Okay. And later on, they document their risks. What are the risks if we implement this? If we implement this, the risks are 1, 2, 3, 4. If we implement this, the risks are 1, 2, 3. So likewise, they analyze lots of stuff, and they go ahead and find out some appropriate solution for your organizations. So the cloud solution selections. So this, under this assessment and design, that comes, it is not mentioned here, but I'm just letting you know that, assessment and design, when this is happening, that time there is, and they are identifying the management requirements for the different cloud alternatives. Right? You understood? I think you can correlate with my previous slides where I described about all four deployment models. There, in assessment and design phase here, they finalize, and with the management, that what are the options and different cloud alternatives you have for your organization. After this, in the same phase, being in the same phase, they analyze security assessment for your organization, the appropriate security controls and process, how they can implement, what they can implement, and continuous monitoring of your systems, and response plan for security breaches, everything. So they have to make sure that no breaches happens when you implement the cloud service in your organization. Right? So this was assessment and design phase. So next, so let me talk something about the benefits. I will explain more about this, this situation, but let us talk something about, benefits of, having this deployment methodology, and, everything. So what are the benefits? The first, in bookish term, if you go, you can tell flexibility, scalability, blah, 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 lots of things we can say. But there are benefits of cloud services. You can write 100 pages. You can write 100 pages. You can produce a report on that one. But let me simplify this, and let me tell you some important and shortlisted benefits, which might seem very, normal, but that has a huge impact on your organization. So first is, when you deploy, developing something in your cloud, say for you are implementing some cloud application in your organization, the biggest benefit happens is, in your market you can sell your product quickly. And that is what the main goal is, right? For any business, whatever the business is, IT or medical or any business you do, main goal is to sell your product. I'm, people who are making tea, people who are making some, some hardwares. The main goal is to sell their product to the customers. So in this organization, in any organization, if you implement this technological stuff and you move to the cloud, market, your demand increases, right? And how it increases, that is another, huge topic to discuss on. But this is very important, aspect of implementing cloud in your organization. So hardware failures, no chance of having hardware failures. How hardware failure? Hardware fails, everything is in cloud, your computer doesn't work, no matter, I will get a new computer, connect to cloud, and start working from wherever I am. I don't mind, my computer is not working. I will get another computer. I have lots of, security mechanism in, I will get it installed, and I will start working from wherever I am. My data are there in cloud. Number two, it cost, cost. Definitely, it is a very, not a big question, but cost effectiveness. low cost, you have to invest on something. The first time that might be a huge, but going forward, if you see the long term, long term engagement, you see that you have made a lot and lot of profit. Your organization will make a lot and lot of profit by implementing this cloud services. So for and another point, is business continuity. That is one of top 3 points what I believe it should be. First, availability in market. Market, it will, your values will go high. Second is business continuity. What happens in business continuity is why business continuity matters more is your customers will not be impacted what is happening within your organization. If something is failing, your hardware is not working, your one service is not working, but customer will not be impacted because you have some virtual server there. From there you can access that service and serve your customer. So business continuity is very important, and that is most important point. From my perspective, it should be number one, business continuity. Excuse me. So business continuity is very important aspects, and this is the benefits. One of the biggest benefit of it: flexibility, scalability, manageability, simplification. Once we start working in cloud application, we know what are the what are the achievements. Previously, I say, for example, I'm just telling, previously I had to struggle to get something done in 2 hours. Now that is all handy. You just have a few clicks and it is all done. We in our organization, we do some lots of stuff like server migration and lots of stuff. There we can see in real time what are the advantages, disadvantages of not being in cloud and being in cloud. Yeah. So move to the next point. And there is I can tell you now, itself is there is going to be a huge paradigm shift when organization starts opting the cloud services for their companies. Huge paradigm shift. You would feel that sitting anywhere in any corner of the world, you can serve your organization, you can work from anywhere, and you don't need to go to the particular location to work on. So now let us talk something about, did I miss something? No. Okay. Cloud assessment and design. I believe I have already explained about this, what happens. If you remember, I talked about the getting requirement, selecting the deployment models and everything, security assessments and planning. All these things happened in that page. So that is one thing. And then you go this one. These are the benefits which I just not talked about, right? All the benefits. You see that business continuity is coming. If you start from bottom, number 4th is business continuity. That is my mistake. I should have done it on the top. So because I feel this is the biggest benefit of any having the cloud services in place. So let us go to the next one, and I think still we have solution planning, investment planning, and acquisition, integration and test, deployment. And okay, let us think about this one, deployment and migration. It is something now we have to understand this is the reality happening into the organization. When we do solution planning, okay, design part, everything is getting implemented, and I have already discussed more about the integration, how we can integrate. If you remember those examples which I gave, that in organization 5 services are there and you are implementing 6th, how you can correlate. Lots of examples also I have given. So integration and test. So when you implement any services, that has to be tested thoroughly. That regression tests should be done. And all these migration means, what we say is there are different environment layers. We call it a environment. In real world, real IT world, we call it as an environment. What is environment? There are, when we develop the code, just understand this one. Any services, forget about cloud, just understand this service, I'm taking this word cloud out. Now understand this service, and you see, service I'm going to implement. First, what I do is I get the requirement, planned it, and my development is done, right? As per the requirement, I have developed a code. Say for say we say that, okay, I have developed a code, I have written a code, and I've got the requirement. My code is ready. It will serve my customer. That's it. So now, first is we have to deploy in one environment that is called dev. We deployed in dev. Then what happened? Development environment, it is a success. You tested, then you promoted it to different environment, which is called, test environment. There, see how the migration is happening. One from development, it is going to another test environment, right? Then, then it is going to third, which is called user acceptance. There, you will have the real testing done for your program, whatever you have written, or the service you have developed, the product you have developed. So here, this is, see the migration here, right? 1, 2, 3. And then finally, when you are pass here, then you go for this fourth one, which is called the production. There, when you do the migration, it will serve your real customers and things which are live in production, right? So we call it, different migrations, migration to the different levels, different, different tires, whatever, in different organization, different, they call it out with different names. So that is that is what the migration is. And when you deploy it, you have to deploy in various places one by one, get a pass, and then you do it. Then after deployment, what it comes, operation and maintenance. Any deployment, I now I'm adding that word. You remember I removed that word cloud. Now I'm adding it, adding cloud. So now you consider cloud services. We are operating well in production environment where every users, every customers are getting served better. Then it comes operations and maintenance. Who will maintain? We have to monitor it. The application, the services we developed, we have to monitor it. I think we have to have some timing. Okay, 10:22. Right. So monitoring and tuning. A cloud monitoring solution should identify problems. So when we monitor, let us not go in that detail what I have written there, but just let us try to understand that when we monitor that system, effectively monitor the cloud ecosystem, we come to know that what are the problems we are facing there, while serving the customers. What are the, there should be a feedback mechanism where we can get all these points written so that we can enhance. Sometimes we need to hand it over to third party to do this monitoring, to do this survey about the product or the services we are offering to the customers. So there might be a chances that the service what I am offering to my customers, there are other providers also they are offering. So I have lots of options. If I have to get a car, I can go to Volkswagen, I can go to Audi, I can go to BMW, anywhere. So they are providing cars, right? I can choose one of them. So same way, if you have third party doing this feedback mechanism, they're entering the details, what are the real customers are facing problems and all the things, then you can enhance. This is called the effective monitoring of your cloud ecosystem. Okay, now hybrid. Okay, here hybrid cloud, enterprise cloud solutions. So everything whatever we talked so far was about cloud services implementing in any organization. Now, what are the points we keep in our mind when we deploy this? There are lots of steps there. We have to have you know tons of information in our mind to implement any service, any even the small service also. If you want to implement in your organization, you have to have tons of points putting down on the checklist, and you have to keep in your mind all the time. So here, what you see on the screen, I have listed down the top 10 items which we have to mark it list is going to be 100, but I have listed only top 10. See, let us see what are those. Hybrid cloud. I am sure that when I in the early phase of this session I explained about hybrid cloud. It must be very clear. We need to keep in mind when we go for enterprise cloud solution, right? When we go for enterprise cloud solution is something that has the mixture of private and public cloud, right? There it looks very simple, hybrid, but the implementation is very complex. It is not that easy for any organization to implement this. It's not that. So we have to keep in mind what is the hybrid, hybrid cloud. If we are going to implement, what are the security measures, what are the the scalability, all these things we have to think, because it will be a mixture of private and public cloud. So we need to make sure that in private cloud all the security measures are perfect, right? If the private cloud they don't have very good security measures, then there is no point we are going to have this hybrid cloud implement deployment methods opted for by our organization. There's no point. So the second point, see the test development and QA platform. As I said, that different kind of migration, you remember 1, 2, 3, and 4 migration, it goes to the production. So before it goes to production, you have this, production. I mean to say, whoever, if you are not related to the IT industry, production, we say that where your written program, written services, or written product is live in production, which is serving the real person, real users or real customers. Like one patient is going to hospital as an walking to the hospital and you want to have a checkup with any physician. So that time what happens is that is that time they have to go for I lost this, what I was telling. Okay, anyways, leave it. I was just checking some time, if I am on time, approximately I'll take a few more minutes to complete that. Let us think about disaster recovery. I have already explained why disaster recovery is important. Cloud file storage, that is very important and burning topic in cloud industry, that how the file can be stored on the system, and load balancing, overhead control, and lots of other points. Rapid development. We shift. Sometimes you see that some companies are having the waterfall model to develop any services, and rapidly they have to make it very faster and go move on to the agile mode, and get the service done, and all these stuffs while implementing the cloud. And the functional IT level shift. So this is what all these points we keep in mind before we deploy any cloud solution, enterprise cloud solution. These are the 10 points we definitely should know about it. So this is I want to keep some time for question and answer sessions too, but let me finish it quickly by in 1 or 2 minutes. I am leaving you all with this IT efficiency challenges. These are the list what I have written it here, written down, because I have really encountered this in real implementations. These are the challenges still IT industries are facing now. So if any how do you implement, how do you rectify this, how do you overcome these challenges, and just you can data management, virtualization, storage optimization, security, lots of things are there. I'm just leaving you with all these challenges happening into the IT industry when we try to implement any cloud services. So I see that Pankaj sir is appearing in the screen. I think I am uh, I completed my 1 hour. So and the next one is question and answer session. I just wanted to have few more minutes to take some questions, and if time doesn't permit, and if I am not able to answer your question, I am very happy to take it through emails, and I would be very happy to respond back to your emails, your questions.
Thank you, sir, for such a wonderful, knowledgeable session. And specifically, you explained about integration. It is very clear to all of us, and our audience will be very benefited with your talk. There are a few basics questions. First, I want to take you, sir, with your permission.
Yeah, sure, definitely. I'd be happy
Sir,
to
one
answer if
question.
I.
Yes, yes. One question is there, sir. Ki what is the requirement of cloud and how data is being stored on cloud?
See, the requirement of cloud is, as I said, that in current situation, we are working. If any organization is working without cloud services, they have to pay more. They have to pay more. They have to take some more time to complete the work. And if they are not under cloud, they cannot think about the community, community cloud, where in future you are going to see all the organizations, they are coming under one umbrella that will be called cloud. So if any organization is not opting that services, it will be out of that community. So as a society member, if we have to be in same society, we have to follow some norms, right? If somebody is not following norms, they can be outdated, they can be called outdated. They have to pay more for their living. So that is how it is in industry. I'm just trying to correlate with our real lives. This is what happens. Nobody is going to throw it out, but customer will not go to that organization, if because and that organization has to pay more for everything. And the biggest point in cloud service when we implement is virtualization. That is something, you'll feel dramatic change when you work in the cloud environment. The virtualization is and I have written one separate paper on virtualization storage mechanism, and that is on international journals, and that is available on internet, my paper. So you can refer to that, and anyone can refer to that one. And if you have any question regarding the storage within cloud.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, you have discussed about public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, and community cloud. Who are the
Right.
major service providers, sir?
So they see there. See, we have lots of service providers like Amazon, Azure, as I said, Azure and OpSpace, and few of them, they provide. Right now, in the current scenario, they come up with lots of services. They're coming up with almost all the options to the organizations, because they are also forming their applications as per the. They don't know who is going to be their customer. Today, if I am calling, I need service X, they should have that service X, because I that way. So these are the few topmost providers they have.
Okay, okay. Sir, next one is what is difference between maintainability and integration? Is there any difference between maintainability and integration?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Maintainability, they are quite two different topics. Integration and maintainability. That is, maintainability comes under when your services are live and somebody is using your service, then you go and maintain it, right? Maintainability, I understand that you have, as you remember, I discussed about the feedback process in cloud service. When you implement, then you get some input from the users, and then you maintain it. Somebody who is developing is not going to maintain it. Some third party is going to maintain that one. But integration is something which happens when you implement the services in your organization. So these are completely different aspects, different.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Uh, in last, sir, please give some suggestions or idea to our graduate how they can enter in this field, sir. I mean to say what knowledge they have to know about entering in this particular field.
Yeah, perfect. So, I would like to, I will be very happy to answer this question, because this is rather my favorite topic. I take various sessions on, for the students who are going to appear onto the, the campus interviews, or if somebody is trying to get inside the IT industry off campus, I take few sessions for them. So that is very important to understand that, what we need. I focused today's topic, today's my presentation, you would have noticed that is not at all technical, right? Even though I was discussing technical details of cloud applications, cloud services, but in my deck, PPT deck, you cannot find anything technical, right? Very few terms which is technical I have written. I try to make everything in simplest possible way so that people can understand. So that is what I request all the graduates to explain any topic in their own way. It is say for if they are going for an interview and the interviewer asks what is C programming or something related to what you understand inheritance. It is not that they have to tell something what is written in book. They have to give some example. Yesterday, last week, I interviewed few people for our organization. I was in the interview panel. There what I found is people sometimes they try to explain whatever written in book. That is fine, that is well and good, but I was pleased, and even the other board members were pleased when somebody tries to explain anything in their own word. It is not that we say that okay, this is what any description we say and we get the job. No, we have to be more focused on what we understand. Somebody who is asking the question, they should understand what you are trying to say. It's not that you are going to write a Fibonacci series and C coding and you are going to get hired. No, the things are changing today in IT industry. If you are trying to get in, first of all, you have to be very confident. I am not sure whether the applicant who is coming for interview is he knows lots of stuff or he doesn't know anything. There might be chances, right? Who is coming for interview, he doesn't know anything, or he may know lot of stuff. So first of all, that confidence everybody has to maintain. I can assure you the person who is asking, I am also asking some questions from some candidate. It doesn't mean that I know in and out about that. No, I don't know. But I have some experience. I'm asking few questions. That's it. The how that applicant answers, that matters. That might be wrong, but the way he expresses the feelings, that matters. So I request everybody to be confident when they go for interview. And if you want to step into the IT industry, try to understand all these concepts with your own examples. That is what I would say. Say for example, when I had to explain something about the customization, I explained about the cricket team, right? That is how I understand and implement the things. So same way, everybody has to read a topic, try to correlate with their the personal thing or society social thing, and understand that everything is understandable in that terms. And be confident. That is the mantra from my side.
Thank you very much, sir, for your words of wisdom. And now I would like to Professor Dr. Seema Naik, ma'am, for vote of thanks.
Sir, thank you, sir, for a very informative session. And we all are aware about the new technologies, that is the AI, machine learning, IoT, but we don't know clear about the cloud data storage and how exactly the IT industries are works. And you have presented very nicely and very simple manner. And you have covered all the topics, that is cloud services, service deployment, integration, how it is monitoring. Very good, sir, and very informative session. And I requested you, I think 10 days back, to be a speaker in my session, and you accepted my request, sir. Thank you very much.
And
Thank
thank
you.
you so much for
Thank you,
your
sir.
invitation, and thank you so much, Pankaj sir. Thank you so much,
Thank
ma'am,
you,
for
sir. Thank you,
providing me
sir.
this opportunity. And it's my pleasure to be here, in this forum. Thank you
Thank you,
so
sir.
much. And
Thank you.
in
Thank you.
future, I would like to, have more partnership with you guys. So
Yes,
I'm
sir. Definitely. Definitely.
thank you so
Sure.
much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.